I'm a public school and college Khanewan. It's class 10 biology. Chapter is coordination and control, and the topic we are going to discuss about the few hormones and of exocrine and endocrine glands. Next are the feedback mechanism and the nervous disorders. So let's start with the islets of pancreas that we discussed in our last lecture. This is a part of the endocrine glands. As I told you that this glands, the pancreas, it acts as the endocrine as well as the exocrine gland. But if you see it from the point of the endocrine gland, then this portion contains groups of endocrine cells referred to as the islets of Langerhans or pancreas. These islets secrete two hormones. Fine, one is the insulin and the other one is the glucagon. What are the situation and condition when these two hormones are released by this pancreas, as it is a endocrine gland? Okay, and the cells responsible for this are the islets of Langerhans or islets of pancreas. So they are secreting two hormones, the insulin and the glucagon. If we talk about the insulin from beta cells, yes, here are the islets of pancreas. They are having that two types of cells. The beta cells are producing insulin hormone, and what is the function of insulin hormone? Insulin influences the liver to take excess glucose from blood. When the blood glucose level is high, fine, your blood glucose level is high, in that condition, insulin hormone is released from the pancreas and it alert your liver to take maximum glucose or to utilize the maximum glucose just to lower the level of the glucose in your body or sugar in your body. Hence, insulin can work with the help of liver to reduce the sugar level in your body. Fine. Hence, insulin is working. And if you see the glucagon, it is another hormone that is released from the pancreatic alpha cells. Fine. And how they are working? When the concentration of glucose gets low in your body, fine, as the concentration of glucose is declining in your body, at that time the pancreas release the most glucagon just to raise the glucose level. And when the glucose level increase again insulin start working to reduce the glucose level. Hence you can see one is increasing and the other way is working on that basis. Fine. This is also known as the negative feedback mechanism. Is it clear how insulin and glucagon are oppositely working with each other? And the condition where the glucose level increases in your body is known as the diabetes mellitus. In your book on page number 50, there is a blood glucose table that is given for after 8 to 10 hours fast and 2 hours after a 75-gram glucose drink. So here is a comparison of blood glucose concentration given. It comes in your board exams as a short question. So you're supposed to learn this concentration at normal, pre-diabetic and diabetic conditions. Okay. Next is the gonads. Gonads are other glands that secretes the different hormones. Testes and ovaries. Testes in male and ovaries in females are reproductive organs or gonads, you can say so. In addition to producing gametes, gonads also, one thing that they are producing their cells, right? Other than that, they are also producing some hormones. And here we are supposed to see the hormones, how the hormones are releasing. If we talk about the testes in male, hormones, they are secreting this hormone, and the hormone name is testosterone. What is the function of this hormone? It is responsible for the development of secondary characteristics in the males. What are the secondary characteristics in the males? Like formation of beard. This is the secondary characteristics, and reproductive cycle. These two are the secondary characteristics for this. Testosterone is a hormone responsible. Next thing is the growth of hair on the face and the coarseness of voice. You can see that when the males get mature, their voices differ from the voice in early childhood. That is just because of this hormone known as the testosterone. Okay. And if you see the ovaries in females, what kind of hormones it is producing? It is producing estrogen hormone and progesterone hormone. What is the function of each? Which are responsible for the development of female secondary. Both of these are helping in the female secondary characteristics and what that are, such as the development of breast, etc. and reproductive cycle. Next, here you can see different glands. Endocrine glands are given here. Fine. You can see pineal glands, pituitary glands. We have discussed growth hormone, antidiuretic hormone. We have discussed growth, bones and muscles, growth hormone, and ADH increases reabsorption of water in kidney. Thyroid glands, thyroxine, that was that was controlling thyroxine, that was controlling the two condition hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Adrenal glands, adrenaline and corticosteroids hormone that were dealing with the emergency situations and the maintenance of water balance in the body. Next is a pancreas, insulin that controls the excess glucose level in the body and glucagon that controls the less glucose level in the body. Ovaries, estrogen and progesterone that controls ovulation and prepare the uterus for receiving the embryo. After that, testes, testosterone that deals with the secondary characteristics in males, and the thymus we haven't discussed about it. So till here, your all glands are ended. Have you any confusion here?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Now see the next topic, that is about the feedback mechanism. Okay, before going towards the feedback, you must know about it that what is feedback mechanism. Whenever I start your class, I always take the feedback of your previous lesson. Do I?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
It's mean you can say that feedback means the regulation of a process by the output of the same process. I always take the output. Whatever I have invested the knowledge in you people. I always take the output, right? So this is called the feedback, right? The regulation of a process by the output of the same process. If I am getting the output as I am investing the input is called the feedback. And feedback mechanism are here of two types. If you see in biology, we say one is a positive feedback. Spellings are wrong here, but positive feedback mechanism and a negative feedback mechanism. Let's deal with both one by one. See, first of all, the negative feedback mechanism. You are well familiar with this mechanism. Just need to remind you here. Okay, see what happened. Negative feedback mechanism, you can say it, we can define it, the output of process decreases or inhibit, whatever the output, it decreases. Okay? After that, what happened? This mechanism works to return a condition towards its normal value. First of all, if one thing is just declining, its output is declining, then at that condition, its output will be maintained. If the output is decreasing, at that time, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to maintain that output because it is declining, right? This is called the negative feedback mechanism. What happened here, for example, I'm having one example here. You can see stimulus, blood glucose level rises. If you are eating this cake, what happened? That your blood glucose level rises. What your pancreas is supposed to do in your body now? As it is getting message that your body glucose level is rises. Now, the cells in pancreas release insulin in the blood. The insulin comes in the blood to deal with this situation with high blood glucose level. Okay. Now, what it is supposed to do, insulin, how it will work to decrease this glucose in your body? It will say to liver, just to do such works, liver, glucose, it takes the glucose and stress it as a glycogen. Like it will change the glucose into in its other form, the glycogen, by using it, right? Okay. Glucose has been changed into the glycogen. Fine. In this way, the insulin has worked here. It has changed the glucose nature. Second thing you can see here, the blood glucose level decline. Now, after the working of insulin, as the body glucose level was increased, now insulin worked it out and it fixed here. Now blood glucose level is decreased. Here you can see fine. Now what happened? The output is declining. Now we are supposed to maintain this declined output. How we can maintain it? Tell me. Yes. We can maintain it with another. The stimulus glucose level falls. Fine. Now what the pancreas do? Alpha cells in the pancreas release the glucagon. Glucagon is an other hormone. What this hormone do in your body? It gives liver to do such function. Liver break down glycogen and release glucose. As here the work is going opposite. Here the glucose was changed into the glycogen with the help of liver. Now glucagon is giving message to liver, just change the glycogen into the glucose just to raise the blood glucose level. Now you can see the blood glucose level rises. Hence the homeostasis is maintained. The set point is maintained. As the output was declining, we maintain the homeostasis by raising the blood glucose level. So this is called the negative feedback mechanism. Is it clear?
Yes.
One yes, rest of 11 are sleeping.
No, ma'am.
Whenever I ask that understand, just raise your hand if you can't speak, please. No one is raising the hand. It's me. You are not understanding what I am teaching. One hand. Only one hand is there. I am not insisting you. If you don't understand, you can tell me. Okay, now I can see the good response. Yes. Is anybody there who can raise a hand? Okay, fine with it. If you need to understand it again, you can tell me, please. Here, what the two hormones, the insulin and glucagon, work antagonistically with each other to maintain the homeostasis, and it is a good example of the negative feedback mechanism. Next to it is the positive feedback mechanism. Okay, you are raising the hand, fine. I am going ahead. This is positive feedback mechanism. Okay, if you see the changes resulting from a process increases, like if the output is increases, fine, the rate of process is increases and the output is increasing, it is known as the positive feedback mechanism. Okay, for this purpose I am taking here one example. Baby moves towards the cervix, stretching the tissues, like this is a positive feedback mechanism example for the birth process in humans, that this hormones, one hormone is here, that name is estrogen hormone.
Ma'am, cervix mean?
Cervical tissues are present in the wall of the uterus. When the baby born, that tissues dilate, the walls dilate, and it is done with the help of this hormone. This hormone help baby to expel out of the mother's body. Okay. Now cervical tissues tension, stretch receptors are stimulated, like they are stretching their muscles. Hypothalamus stimulate posterior pituitary to release hormone oxytocin. Now this is the hormone which is responsible to dilate the walls of the cervix or cervical tissues. Smooth muscles in the uterus wall now contract. They start contracting, and their contraction cause cervix is stretched more as baby is pushed. Now this contraction pushed out the baby baby from the body. Hence you can say that this is a process which is example of positive feedback mechanism, where oxytocin is the hormone that is responsible for the uterus wall contraction, and it is a process where the changes resulting from a process increasing the rate process. The rate process is increasing continuously. It is not declining at the end that we can say it is a negative feedback mechanism. It is a positive feedback mechanism. Okay, next are the disorder of nervous system. The negative feedback mechanism and the positive feedback mechanism. It is very much important. Short question from board point of view, please mention it in your book. Negative feedback mechanism, FBASC short question. Okay. Now let's see about the disorder of the nervous system. If your nervous system is unable to do any of the activity for which it is responsible, it's called the disorder of nervous system. Here Disorder of nervous system can be categorized into two main types: vascular disorders, paralysis, and functional disorder, epilepsy. It means that the nervous disorder can be of two types. Fine. One is the vascular disorder. It means the vessels that are giving message towards the brain, they become unable. And it is for this purpose we can say paralysis is a good example. And for functional disorder, that if your brain is not working, the problem is in your brain, then there is a condition which is known as the epilepsy. So vascular disorders are due to the disturbance in blood supply to the nervous system, while the functional disorders are due to the disturbance in nerve impulse generation and transmission. See them one by one. Let's start with the epilepsy. What is epilepsy? It is a nervous disorder in which there is abnormal and excessive discharge of nerve impulse. This is problem of nerve impulse. The nerve impulse is a message that is going towards your brain, right? And from brain it is coming towards the effectors. Is it so? So epilepsy is a chronic disorder that causes unprovoked recurrent seizures, like attacks are coming there. There is a sudden rush of electrical activity in the brain, or in other words, you can say there is abnormal and excessive discharge of nerve impulse in the brain. Your brain is secreting, sorry, it is producing what? Excessive discharge of nerve impulse. It is not giving a proper message, it is giving a bulk of message to your body. And now what happened in this case, it causes unprovoked seizure in patient. A seizure of epilepsy is a temporary abnormal state of brain marked by the convulsion. There are several reasons. It mostly occur in people of 40 years age. Brain tumors are more likely to cause epilepsy. Head trauma, central nervous system infection may cause epilepsy at any age. There are several reasons you might have. If you have high fever, head trauma, very low blood pressure, alcohol withdrawal, these all can cause the epilepsy as well. Now, how we can deal with the epilepsy, where the excessive nerve impulse is discharging from your brain. It is not giving a proper message to your body. It is giving a excessive nerve impulse to your body. In that condition, how can we treat it? Medicines can control the seizures. Patients of epilepsy have to take in medicines daily for the treatment as well as prevention of seizures. These are termed as the anticonvulsant or anti-epileptic drugs. So here are the two types of medicines that we can use for the patient of epilepsy. These are the anti-epileptic drugs. Next is the paralysis, which is a vascular disorder. It means that your brain is not getting proper blood to function, and hence it causes one disease known as the paralysis. Is the loss of muscles function in part of your body. The muscles are unable to do work. Why? Because their connection with the body parts got disconnected. If my internet connection get disconnected, can I teach you? No, I can't teach you because the connection is disconnected. In the same way, the brain connection with the whole body part, when it disconnected, it causes a paralysis in your body. Okay? It happens when something goes wrong with the way message pass between your brain and muscles. The message that is conducting between your brain and body parts, it is through the spinal cord. Like spinal cord is sending message, it is giving flux to your brain, and hence you are performing the actions. So it gets disconnected just because the message pass between your brain and muscles get disturbed. Paralysis can be complete or partial. It can occur on one or both sides of your body. Did you ever notice in your family the paralysis? There are mostly cases you can notice in your environment of paralysis. Some people have the whole body paralysis, some have the half body paralysis. It can also be the point paralysis, where the different points can be paralyzed. Like if face, on the face, you can see the half jaw get paralyzed. These are different condition of paralysis. So how can we deal with this paralysis? The damage may be due to the shock, like clotting in these blood vessels, or poison produced in the by poliovirus. Yes, polio. Those who are the polio patients, they can also have the paralysis because their connection with the brain through the vessels is not connected. That is why they can have this paralysis. Patient may have weak paralysis through his or her body. To have paralysis in one side of the body, they may also paralysis in lower extremities or in all four limbs. You can see this girl is sitting on the wheelchair. She's having the lower extremes paralysis. She can't walk, right? So how can we treat with this paralysis? Yes, whenever anybody get attacked, the attack of paralysis, the physician suggests them for the physical activities. Yes, we can give them different exercises uh, just to run the message between their brain and the body parts. Hence, they can improve. So, is there any confusion in nervous disorders, the paralysis and epilepsy?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Fine. Okay, revise it. I'm going to listen to your questions from you students.